What's happening, guys? You know what time it is. I am back with another workout video. Today's workout features a ton of back exercises. I'm also going to give you guys 5 tips that I've found really helpful when it comes to improving the effectiveness of your back workouts. Today is Tuesday, September 6th, 2016. I just finished this workout up about 3 hours ago. Right before the clips of all the exercises, there is going to be a brief 40-second clip with some audio showing me posing, albeit not very well, showing my back, my side tricep, as well as a front most muscular real quick, just to give you guys a physique update. So I hope you enjoyed that. I want to provide you guys with some footage of what I actually look like, and also it's something I want to have for myself. So I'll be silent during this portion and catch you guys during pull-ups. Alright, so that about does it on the physique update. As you can see, I need to work on my posing, but it does give you guys a general idea of where I'm at right now. I am weighing in at about 185 pounds, and for those who don't know, I am 5 feet 11 inches tall. So, moving on, we're just going to jump straight into the 5 tips I have for you guys to improve your back workouts. Tip number 1, always start with your most taxing or most difficult exercises first. As with most people, I've always found pull-ups to be the hardest exercise for back, excluding deadlifts. So I always like to start off my workouts with pull-ups. If I do any sort of back exercises before pull-ups, my pull-up numbers drop dramatically. So tip number 1, always start with your most taxing or difficult movements. A pull-up is considered difficult for most people. I would say any sort of row, like this T-bar row here, is taxing. You have to stabilize your entire spine. You're using a lot of muscles in your low back as well. Your hips are activating. You're really having to stay steady while you're going through the row. So that would be another thing. That's why I always do a barbell row, a T-bar row, any sort of row variation where I'm bent over. I do that first before I move on to machine rows, because those barbell and T-bar rows are very hard on your lower back muscles as well, because they are helping to stabilize your spine. Tip number 2, I want to talk about tempo. I see far too many people in the gym go really fast with every exercise they do. They don't seem to have any concept of slowing the movement down, understanding that the muscles can be continuously worked, not just on the squeeze portion, but also on the stretch portion. So I encourage you guys, if you've been doing a sort of, 1, 2, 3 count on the way through your stretch motion, maybe try a 5 count. Or at 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. Really try to emphasize the time under tempo as you do your back exercises, and I guarantee that'll help produce new soreness, new growth, and also just take pride in actually controlling the weight rather than trying to move as much weight as possible. Really try to learn how to control the weight and really become the master of the weight before you decide to just jump the weight up. Tip number 3, and this is the perfect exercise to show it on, emphasize the stretch. So make sure with all your pull down, pull up, rowing variations that you're letting your shoulder blades get stretched out. You're letting them get pulled along your rib cage. The bigger stretch you can get, the better squeeze you'll get. So big stretch at the top, big squeeze at the bottom. For pull downs like this, you can see shoulder blades are rotating up, and then you're pulling them down towards your back pockets. And then for rowing, your shoulder blades are rotating outwards, and then they're squeezing together. So you can see here they're going to move outwards, and then they're going to come together. All right? So really try to emphasize the stretch on all of your back exercises. tip number 4, and this is probably the most important tip. Learn to squeeze your shoulder blades. Practice squeezing your shoulder blades, pulling your arms, or excuse me, pulling your elbows towards your body and pinching your shoulder blades together. You'd be surprised just how difficult it is to pinch your shoulder blades together if you haven't really thought about it. Most of us are really in tune with the front of our bodies. We know how to use our chest and our biceps, but a lot of us struggle big time to use the muscles on the backside of our shoulders properly because we're just not used to pinching and squeezing our shoulder blades together. So for every movement, you need to make sure you're feeling your shoulder blades pinching together. Otherwise, you're not going to get the most out of the exercise. And then finally, tip number 5, really try to utilize different grips and handles throughout your back workout. And that means using an overhand grip, using an underhand grip like you can see here with this high row. Also using a neutral grip where your palms are facing each other, working as well on elbow position. Some exercises try to keep your elbows tucked into your sides, almost like you're trying to run your elbows along your body. And then other exercises, flare your elbows out a little bit. And on this next exercise, which you guys have seen a lot, the seated cable row, I actually grabbed a easy curl bar and pulled with an overhand grip. And you'll see that my elbows are actually flared out at about 45 degrees. And that makes it easier for me to actually squeeze my shoulder blades together and activate my traps and rhomboids rather than my lats. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm purposely trying to activate my traps and my rhomboids more. This is just another angle, same idea. Palms facing towards the ground, elbows at 45, and really trying to pinch my shoulder blades together there. And then right here, this is a neutral handle, so a hammer grip handle. V-bar handle. Here what I did is I emphasized the stretch and then I'm trying to squeeze and pinch. Now this is sped up, but I was trying to hold for a 1-2 count. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then you guys know this is one of my favorite lat isolation movements. I decided to go with a rope today. Keeps my hands closer together. And like I was saying with tip number 5, utilizing different handles. All of these exercises, try them with different handles. See what feels best for you. See what muscles you feel activating the most. And also, certain handles are going to work well for some and not for others. Whether you have shoulder issues or elbow or wrist issues as well. You may not have full rotation through your shoulder, elbow, and wrist. And that means you might have to go with more of a neutral grip rather than a pronated or a supinated grip. And you guys may be wondering, why is he doing face pulls on back day? Well, not only does this hit the rear delts, it also hits your traps really well, and I want to bring up my upper trap thickness and middle trap thickness a lot. So I actually did this first as part of the trap portion of the workout. This is to help fatigue the traps. This is where you're squeezing your shoulder blades together. So your upper, middle, and lower traps do shoulder blade retraction, so squeezing. They also do shoulder elevation, which is something a lot more people think of when they think of trap training. So first started with the face pulls, and then I moved on to a traditional barbell shrug. I went very, very light, strapped up, had my hands out a little bit wider than shoulder width, about a hand width away from the smooth part of the bar. I did 4 sets of 25 with about 30 to 45 second rest. You can see here I really try to emphasize the squeeze at the top. Once again, the video is sped up, but I was trying to get up there and do a 1, 2, 3 down. 1, 2, 3 down to maximize the time under tempo, or excuse me, the time under tension. After that, so I did a standing shrug with my hands in front of me, and now I'm doing a seated kettlebell shrug with my arms by my side. So this helps keep my shoulder blades back a little bit better and hits the traps from a slightly different angle. And on this, I did a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down tempo, really emphasizing the squeeze at the top. And then finally, I finished up with some banded, sort of just rear flies. Once again, these do hit your rear delts. You guys know I'm really working hard on the back of my shoulders on shoulder day, but also on back day, you're working on your rear delts as well as your traps. It's hard to separate the two. You can see both of them are activating here. And the bands just felt nice because I could grab the handle as well and have my palms facing towards each other versus the cable as my palms are facing down towards the ground. So it's just a slightly different hand position to alter muscle activation. That's about all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do enjoy the channel, make sure to subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and make a comment down below. I would love to see you guys interact on the channel some more. I am here to answer questions and would just love to get to know some of you guys. Until next time, guys, I am out. Have a great day.